I got the call at 6:42 in the morning. Sun wasn't even up yet. I was halfway through microwaving leftover coffee when my phone buzzed. It was Dell from the sheriff's office. He doesn't call unless it's weird. "You near Hollow Pines Cemetery?" 15 minutes out. "We've got a situation." "Animal?" "Not unless the coyotes got really tidy." That's when I knew it was something bad. I work rural maintenance. Grounds, gates, occasionally helping dig plots when we're short on hands. Hollow Pines is a quiet one. Old, surrounded by woods. Most of the people buried there died before I was born. I got there just after 7. Dell's cruiser was already parked near the service road. He was standing just past the east gate, leaning over a grave. I saw the body immediately. Not buried, not hidden. Laid out on top of the grave like someone had placed it there with intention. A man, maybe mid-30s. Jeans, gray flannel, boots. No jacket, face clean. Arms crossed over his chest. No ID, no wallet. Nothing in his pockets but lint and a torn candy wrapper. "You touch anything?" I asked. "Hell no." "Security cams?" He gave me a look. Right. This was Hollow Pines. No cams, no gates, just a rusted sign and a few hundred acres of quiet. The grave he was placed on? Elias Barker. Died 1964. No surviving family. The marker was simple. Weather-worn but intact. The grass around it? Undisturbed. No shovel marks. No signs of digging. The soil wasn't even soft. It hadn't rained in over a week. Whoever left him there didn't open the grave. They just used it. The weirdest part? His boots were clean. Not just he walked on the grass, clean. No mud, no dust, no scuff marks. Like he was dressed and carried there, placed. Like a message. We called in the coroner. While we waited, I circled the grounds, checked the fence lines. Nothing. But on my way back, I noticed something. A folded piece of paper tucked into the crack at the base of Elias Barker's headstone. I pulled it out, unfolded it. Just one word, handwritten in thick black ink. Again. The coroner took the body. Still no ID. Still no prints in the system. Just a man nobody recognized, found lying perfectly still on a grave no one had visited in over 20 years. They ruled out overdose. No needle marks, no trauma, no obvious cause of death. Just dead. Heart stopped. Perfectly clean. Dell didn't say much after that. But 2 nights later, he texted me. "Meet me behind the station. Bring beer." When Dell asks for beer, it means he's about to show you something he's not supposed to have. We sat on the back steps, and he pulled out a manila envelope. Inside, 4 photos, all black and white, slightly faded. Each one the same setup. A man. Different each time. Lying on top of a grave. Same pose, arms crossed, clean clothes, no ID. "These from Hollow Pines?" I asked. He nodded. "Dates?" He passed me a crumpled sheet. 3 dates, written in pencil. 1986, 1993, 2004. "Every 7 to 9 years, he said. "Always near the woods. Always on a grave that hasn't been touched in decades." What did the reports say? No reports. Seriously? They went missing. The guy before me, Stearns, he tried to log it. Paperwork disappeared, got a warning, then a transfer, then cancer. Dell lit a cigarette, took a long drag. Last body? Was on a grave marked J.G. Fenley. That name sounds familiar. He looked at me sideways. "Because you dug the plot next to it 6 months ago. Widow named Marta Fenley. No relation, at least not on paper." I went back to the cemetery the next morning. Found the Fenley plot. And there, wedged behind J.G. Fenley's stone, almost identical to Elias Barker's, was another folded paper. Same handwriting. This one said, "Stop asking." I called the county archives. Asked for any records on Elias Barker or J.G. Fenley. The woman on the line paused. "We don't have a Barker or a Fenley listed in Hollow Pines. I'm standing over their headstones." "You sure you've got the name right?" "Yes. That cemetery hasn't had a recorded burial since 1998. I helped bury someone there last year. Silence. Sir, that property was removed from the registry in 2001. It's not considered active. Dell didn't answer his phone the next day. Didn't text. Didn't clock in. His cruiser was still at his place, keys inside. I stopped by after my shift. Knocked. Called his name. Nothing. His front door was locked, but the back window was cracked open. Inside, TV on, beer can still cold, badge sitting on the kitchen counter. That's when I noticed what was missing. The envelope. The photos. Gone. I drove straight to Hollow Pines. Didn't bring anything. Not even a flashlight. It was past 10 p.m. The sky was clear. Stars out. The cemetery had that kind of wrong silence you can't explain. Like everything had just paused. No wind, no bugs, no nothing. I walked past Elias Barker's grave, past J.G. Fenley's. Then I saw the new one. I don't even know how I missed it earlier. Row behind the Fenley plot, near the edge of the tree line. Simple marker, fresh dirt. No name, no dates, just a stone. But someone was lying on it. My first thought was, Dell. But it wasn't. This person was younger. Late 20s maybe. Dressed clean, neatly folded sleeves, no blood, no signs of struggle. Eyes open, but not blinking. I crouched next to him. Said his name, didn't know it, but tried anyway. Hey. No response. I leaned in closer. That's when I realized he was breathing. Shallow, barely, but definitely alive. Then his lips moved. Barely. Just enough to whisper one thing. Don't let it pick you. I grabbed my phone to call for help. No signal. Tried to lift him. He flinched. Eyes still wide. Still staring at something I couldn't see. It's not a person, he whispered. It's the grave. Then I heard the crunch of boots behind me. I turned. No one. But the air behind me was colder. Heavier. And in the dirt at my feet, something started rising. Not moving. Shifting. Like the earth was breathing again. I pulled the man off the grave, dragged him 5 feet away. He passed out, but once he was clear of the headstone, his pulse picked up. Breathing normalized. I left him at the cemetery gate. Called 911 from my truck. By the time they arrived, he was gone. No blood. No sign he'd ever been there. But when I checked the grave again the next morning, a folded note sat at the base of the marker. New ink. Same handwriting. It said, almost. 3 days passed. No new calls from the sheriff's office. No new bodies. But Hollow Pines didn't feel right anymore. I'd walked that cemetery 100 times over the years. Knew every broken fence post, every cracked statue, every soft patch of ground that made the mower slip. But now, headstones were shifting. Not dramatically, not all at once, just inching. Every morning, a few were angled slightly more to the left. Others tilted forward like they were listening. And a few had no names at all. Just blank slabs, fresh, unrecorded. I drove out one night. Hadn't been back since the man I pulled off the grave disappeared. Didn't tell anyone. Took a flashlight, a notepad, and my grandfather's old revolver. Not for ghosts. Just for whatever was pretending not to be one. The grave where the last man had been found? Gone. Grass smoothed over. No marker. No sign anything was ever buried there. But in its place, sitting neatly on the grass, was a folded piece of paper. No envelope. No mud. No wind had touched it. I picked it up. It was a list. 4 names. Elias Barker, J.G. Fenley, D. Loring. That was Dell. My full name. Under mine. Not yet. I burned the note. Didn't care if it was stupid. Didn't care if I should have kept it for evidence, that word. Not yet. Hit me like a countdown. I don't know what the pattern is. I don't know what these graves are, or why they're being used, or why some of the bodies are still breathing when they're pulled off. But I know what happens if you don't move fast enough. Last night, I got a knock on my door. 2:03 a.m. Not pounding, not urgent. Just steady. When I looked through the peephole, there was no one there. But on my porch, a headstone. Miniature. Carved. Clean. Just my name. And a date. 3 days from now. This morning, I quit my job, packed a bag, left town. I don't know where I'm going yet. Just somewhere without cemeteries. Somewhere they haven't already claimed a plot. But I know this. If you find a body lying on top of a grave, don't wait. Don't touch it. And whatever you do, don't read the note.